Hey Mustangs, Brain Bust, episode 4. So far we've talked about screen fatigue, growth mindset, and neural pathways, right? Today I'm going to talk about multitasking. Did you just say to yourself, oh, Miss Preston, I'm good at that? Did you? Because a bunch of you told me that last week. And I'll admit, grown-ups tell ourselves and each other that all the time. I'm great at multitasking. I look at all these things I can do at one time. Guess what? Literally speaking, in the truest sense of the word, literally speaking, multitasking is impossible. Everything we do is from a separate connection in our brain. Now, we have trillions of neurons, right? We have so many brain cells that tell our body what to do and when to do them, okay? And some of the basic functions, like walking and talking, those get really used to happening so fast that we think they're happening at the exact same time, when really they're just separate connections that are almost immeasurable by time, okay? And different connections can fire to different parts of the body because they come from different parts of the brain, but that's a whole nother thing. With your academics and with video games, I'm going to talk about both, multitasking is impossible, okay? Because everything you do is a separate neural pathway. It's a separate road in your brain. So if you think about video games, you're playing a video game and your mom comes in to talk to you, right? Every time you break your concentration from that video game to talk to your mom, you have left your video game road and jumped on to the talking to mom road, okay? And when you jump back to the video game road, it doesn't just go back to where you left off. And it doesn't just catch up to where you are with no consequence, right? You have to reset that connection. And just like when you go from talking to your mom to playing the video game, if she's still talking over here, you're going to miss some of what she says, because you've jumped onto the video game road, and it is literally impossible to travel 2 roads at one time. You can't do that. You can only travel 1 road at a time, right? And so if you think about it in terms of your academics, you think of your ELA and your math. If you're doing your ELA, but you have your tablet right here or your phone right here to play a game, or you have a movie on in the background, or you're trying to talk to your sibling, that's not all going to work together, right? So you're going to kind of have to decide which one you want to pay attention to, because you're working on your ELA, you break your concentration to play a round of your game on your tablet, and then you go back to your ELA task. You don't just go right where you left off. You have to reset that connection, and it's not always super easy. Sometimes there are bumps in the road or cracks in the pavement, right? And so that is why multitasking is impossible. You cannot travel down 2 roads at the exact same time. So multitasking, literally impossible, like licking your elbow or a round square. Both of those things, totally impossible, right? So is multitasking, because you can only travel down 1 road at a time. So my suggestion to you is to work on one thing at a time, either until you have finished it or until a very good breaking point. But you have to give your brain time to warm up to the task. You can't try it for 2 minutes and say, oh, I can't do this, and then go do something else and then come back to it. Give your brain time to get used to that road, to get used to that neural pathway. Work until it's finished or until a good stopping point. Pause, take a break, and then come back if it's too big of a task, okay? One thing at a time. One thing at a time, because the brain, literally speaking, cannot multitask, okay? See you later.